Good evening, RPG Limit Break fans. I am Ozloto, and welcome to our first round of the 2024 Winter Tournament, Winter Robot Wars Chaos X-Wing. We have a great match for you tonight, Kumo versus Lifereboot. Sitting next to me in the comms booth is my good friend Fabian Hawk. Fabian, how you doing tonight?
I do well, as do you, I know, as this is yet again for the third day in a row one of your seeds.
This is an Ozloto special. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know one thing. Fabian, what do we got for our party blursings tonight?
Parties and blursings, starting with the top. The warrior comes with the wood armor adept for extra evasion if you choose to forego a ribbon. As well as the cat's claw improves. So find that cat's claw in the store. If it rolls vanilla or better, you've got a high crit weapon to wield with that fighter, even if you don't promote. As for the thief, which it looks like both of our runners are also taking, we have plus 10 luck and clean magic. The black belt, curiously absent, only has health magic and plus 15 agility. We do see some differentiations. A red mage on both. Oh, no, they both have red mage and black mage. I'm sorry, Kumo's sprites are a little confusing to me, but thankfully, by rules, he has to name them what they are for us to follow with. As the red mage with buff magic and plus 10 strength, so it can swing and it can make things hit harder. The white mage that is absent had hurt dragons and plus 2 level 1 MP, and the black mage is elemental magic plus resistance to time and poison. So you've got sweepers on or at the start.
Yeah, it seems like both of our runners have chosen the same party. This will make for a very interesting run. Route divergence going to be a big factor in this one.
They are definitely hoping to find a sweeper add or to augment those two casts the black mage comes with, and if they only get like early harm and nothing great in the black magic, that could be real bad.
Yeah, this could be a very interesting scene. I mean, personally, I like the red mage option. I think that's a real good one. That extra strength, you get a good Vorpal that rolls up. That's money in the bank right there. That red mage now becomes dual purpose.
Personally, I've always been a bit of a red mage stand. It is the best all-around tool, and when the best all-around tool gets a bit more strong, you kind of want to take it.
Absolutely, absolutely. For those of you that have not seen one of our Winter Tournament games, this is a shard hunt. So they have to find 28 shards in random chests. Both Lich and Carry, if you defeat those two fiends, are worth 2, while Kraken and Tia are worth 4. We are playing with the flags of All Loose. So lots of treasure chests for you loot goblins out there. This is going to be a great seed for you to watch.
Answering a question in chat from Kit Marcus, it is possible we could see a reroll to a white mage, but only if you see something crazy like Harm 4 at level 1 that could only really be taken advantage by the white mage. As far as what we see, though, Quad X and Fire 2, there is a big sweeper find and removal spell, as well as Cure
Cure 4.
4.
Wow, and let us remind us that in this seed, Quad X is 600 HP or lower, not 300. So that is a very good removal spell.
Did get a look in the armor shop. I saw some pretty expensive but rolled up steel armor. That is something that could be picked up if they don't find any good alternate gear.
Steel armor is very good, but always very expensive. Seems like there's a real fast encounter off of the hard reboot, so that does open up some grind opportunities later on.
Finding those blue stakes or red stakes in the desert for experience could be handy, but we need to get out of the inner sea before that even can be talked about.
Kumo going right for Garland, no chests involved. And
Been
Quad X
seeing this
says,
more.
goodbye, Garland.
Instant death has been effective.
Saving on his way through. Yeah, you have said that a lot of runners are now doing that, taking Garland out before they go check the chests.
I can imagine with the encounter tables being the way they are with unrunnable packs and seeing already that there's a fast encounter bridge in the bottom left corner.
There's your bridge.
It makes sense. Take care of Garland because it's a short run in and out. Then you can save and go for items.
Absolutely. So you've already found the bridge, so there's your access out of the Corneria area.
That'll
And
be
the que-
interesting if we see some divergence because you can go up to Crystal or the Matoya's Closet and Provoca, or you can make a run towards Elf, but that's only, or sorry, Dwarves, but that's only 2 chests.
It is. Now, I don't know about you, but a 2,000-year-old soft potion? I'm not interested, Sarah. Just not interested.
Well, maybe it's got honey in it, which naturally can stay good for years and years and years.
Yeah, that's true, but the king at least gave you some real estate.
Well, with the housing market as it often is crazy. And hey, we do have divergence. Kumo is taking the fast 2 chest check. Looks like he didn't save. He's just going off of wow, this is a really nice run.
That's a very good run. What does he find? A katana +2 is a good find, and a Thor hammer, but he resets out.
He has the cast of sweepers, so the Thor her hammer's nice, but not critical. And the katana he can only really use post promotion. You're definitely going back there 1 or more times. Might as well reset out and save that knowledge. And even then, he is actually in the lead, running up towards the cave for
Lifereboot
Matoya.
taking on the bridge boss and saving out of it. And he is also looks like he's heading towards dwarves to check those chests. He will be disappointed.
He is also very much mapping out the encounter table, 3 or 4 resets, but there you go. And that is a shard and a chicken. That would be the ruby, evidently human edible, and a crown just for fun.
One of our fun flags for the randomizer, you can change what you feed the Titan. Sometimes it's food, sometimes it's paste.
I know for a fact that a couple of our runners, Ale Markin included, like to go with alcoholic beverages.
This is true. I prefer the random all, so you never know what you're gonna get. Because
Multi-instrumental Sarah is my preference, but I usually never use it because I forget about it.
we will see if any of our runners have that turned on tonight with one of our fun percentage flags.
Kumo, our first runner into Provoca, looks like he's going to check the magic first, see if he can find another sweeper. Ice 2.
Ice 2
Upgrade from Fire 2.
is the strongest of the elemental sweepers. All the ices are the strongest. Ice 1, Ice 2, and Ice 3. In White Magic, we have Life 2, Exfer, and Mute. I'm personally a huge fan of Exfer. It does come in handy. Not a lot of runners agree with that.
That white mage having, or the red mage having access to Life 2 early is going to be pretty handy, I could only imagine.
Very much so. So we've seen the pirates, and the pirates are just getting burned to a crisp. That is the end of the pirates.
How do you deal with characters that only have 10 or so life? Immolate them with high-level magic.
Good turn order, though. He got off before any pirates. You can sometimes get stuck there. And there's our canoe. Well, that's a big relief for a lot of our runners. These flag sets tend to put the canoe in a not-so-happy place. House is also around 2,000 gold. That's actually not too bad. And you see gold +2 at much, much more expensive.
Interesting, Kumo did spot that wood helm that rolled up, not picking it up. I don't think he's going to rely on that wood evasion for his tanky knight or fighter.
There is a risk there, because if you go with all wood, you can't use dragon armor, ribbon, and that, while the evasion is nice, magic does hurt. Kumo, meanwhile, is heading into the river system.
I can only imagine going crescent before anything else.
You would be correct.
He already has a turn-in he can make over with the crown, so whether or not he goes volcano or ice from here, or goes all the way past Elfland is, well, we'll see.
Now, Pro Rings +4, only 4,000 or so gold. That's not bad. Not bad at all.
Extraordinarily cheap for what is a mid-game encounter location, but it's a bit of a run to get back here unless they find the... Okay, there's the crystal. You gotta go backtrack.
The old men actually have something useful. One thing we should note for those of you who haven't seen these flags, because everything is loose, some items will appear with NPCs and some will not. The tail, however, will always appear with an NPC. The tail is not loose.
Strictly speaking, the turn-in NPC is for the adamant, the crystal, the tail, or the bottle, the crown. Those NPCs can give the tail, the roost stick, or the vorpal, and the excal, I believe. Oh, and one of the ribbons.
And the power bonk.
cannot forget the power bonk. It is the bonk of power, obviously.
Rubes in chat, very good. The opal bracelet also we have forgotten. If it rolls up, it is nice to find. Kumo taking some encounters here to get some extra levels. One good thing about this flag set, clinics are free. So you don't have to worry about spending money to revive your characters.
Unfortunately, it doesn't mean that the inns are free. In early game, I've found that I spent too much money on magic or weapons or armor because you just can't save.
That is very true. Meanwhile, Lifereboot into Provoke, going to the item shop, picking up a house. He's a homeowner now.
And Kumo's going up if he's going back to do the crystal turn in, or if he's going to divert and go to Volcano early. I like this play.
Volcano Armory is full of chests. It's Caribs with heat. Not what you want to see early on. That is nasty.
Look, you want to boil the fish, not the fish boil you. Now that's a good pack to find. A quad EXP, very fast near the surface. You can bounce out, heal up, maybe or use a house, but they hit hard.
And it looks like they are not going down easy. Oh, but Ice 3, of course, the best sweeper, early sweeper you get. And why not just quad exit?
That thief doing its job of dodging as the casters do their job of freezing the insects. Level 7 immediately. That's more or less survivable in Volcano, as long as you don't go too far down.
One thing we should mention, for the shards they pick up will actually give them bonus XP. So the more shards you have, the more XP you gain, and I believe gold as well, off of encounters.
Yep, normally the incentive items would do the scaling in the randomizer, but with the shard hunt, that's been flipped over to a certain number of shards to trigger the increase in experiencing gold gains.
Ooh, and the first of our unrunnable packs. We have a 16% chance of unrunnables in the seed. Now, that's always the same packs, but sometimes they can be more of a major roadblock, as we see here with the Giants with Sleep Touch.
Are you sure they're not actually trolls in disguise? Because they do a good job of it.
That is one thing you don't like about Giants. They hit hard, and they give nothing back. Meanwhile, Lifereboot getting his crystal now. Now, if you're Lifereboot, do you take the Volcano play? Do you go to Ice? Or do you take the crystal back? Will he route divert?
Not having Warp or Exit, I wouldn't go Ice early. I would say Volcano's not a bad choice, which we're seeing Kumo go for. You got a lot of early checks. You've got some good experience fights you can take.
Ooh, but a lot of unrunnables so far. And he's out of Ice 2 charges. But he still has Quad X. And Lifereboot, actually, no. He looks like he's heading for Elfland. Could he be going to Marsh and or the Crown?
Well, if he has the money, he can go to Elfland. He can pick up that level 3 and level 4 magic. Maybe some items. Finding the Caribs have heat and surviving the cast. Looks like he's going to get the lid off with the ice, and that'll do the job.
Ooh, that gator,
Except for that.
Well, he's got Lamp. And I know a lot of people don't like Lamp, but in this seed, we have improved Dark. If you get Dark cast on you, you're going to miss a lot of the time. It is horrible to see.
Gonna finally get a look for the Volcano Armory. Meanwhile, Fire 3 levels Lit 3, Nuke and Saber.
Nuke and Saber. Excellent spells. A Saber for that Red Mage. Fantastic. You don't need it right now, but you should remember to come back for it. Meanwhile, a lot of shards in Volcano Armory. My.
That Red Mage, I don't think can learn Saber without promotion, though. I think Fire 3 and Nuke are in its immediate wheelhouse.
Yeah, you gotta come back for it, but you find a nice Vorpal. Or maybe you want to take on Warmech and find the Katana. That's one of our little fun flags we have on. The Katana is in a random chest. Masa. My mistake. The Masa is in a random chest, always guarded by Warmech.
The Katanas are also in random chests, it's just not guarded by nuclear-equipped war machine from thousands of years in the past.
Chat saying that, yes, their level 3 red is fully learnable for the Red Mage, so he can take Saber, but he wants Exit. He definitely wants Exit. with exit in tow, ice becomes a lot more palatable.
As does Marsh.
Correct.
Kumo not having good armor on his party is definitely not liking these unrunnable packs.
Oh, he does. So Temper and Fast and Invis 2 are his bonus spells in his Red Mage. These gargoyles are not playing fair.
Out of cast, going with fast just to try and make that knight do more, or that fighter do more damage.
He does have something equipped. I think it looks like a staff of some kind. Could it actually be like I think, an iron staff? Yeah. Thank you, Red Mage. Our tracker confirms it is an iron staff.
Switching to potion strats with his other characters, which is doing the job of keeping up barely.
This is quite unfortunate. Our Lifereboot is going to give us a look at what Astos is holding. He has the Power Bonk +6. You want that, and he is quad Xable. But we're going to nuke him instead.
Burn it with fire.
And Kumo gets through his unrunnable encounter, but he must be thinking he's quite low on charges.
He did find some okay gear.
He did. Lifereboot meanwhile says goodbye to Astos and takes his friendly power bonk and runs, and he's headed for Marsh. We're going to get our first look at what's in Marsh.
If Marsh turns out to have something excellent, this could be a huge advantage for Lifereboot.
Very much so, but Kumo did find a lot of shards. Oh, a loot in Volcano in the hairpin. That is huge. That chest is ignored a lot of the time. Most runners hate to go down those hairpin turns.
Black shirt +6 coming out of that top Marsh room. That's a definite grab.
Yeah, that's great for your thief. He has something to do when he's not doing anything, especially in a battle like this, where you have a Thor hammer and a black suit. Yeah, you're sitting pretty.
Kumo makes it out, saves, and goes back in. I believe he had a house, so he got his spell cast as well.
You would be correct, and now he can take a straight dive down. Now, if you're Kumo, though, do you take on carry? You don't have great gear. You don't really have the best magic. Do you just run down, grab what you can get, and leave?
It really just comes down to what levels you can get. And I do notice Lifereboot pulled a +3 fire armor and chucked that right on his fighter. Huge gear for now and better gear for later if he has to throw it on the thief.
That is good gear indeed. He's found the loose bottle. And a ton of cash. But he has exits, so he is laughing. He has housing, so yeah, he's right back through. Loose slab and Volcano with the first check. And TNT in the same room. Well, that's an interesting placement.
Honestly, I think this routing is going to work out for Kumo in that case, because with the TNT and the herb, he will make a lot more checks on the left side of the inner C much faster than Kumo will, or most faster than Lifereboot will.
Very true. This has been very advantageous. This route divergence very interesting.
And of course, he knows he can pick up the Thor hammer and the katana when he goes to turn in that TNT and possibly the adamant if he picks that up ahead of time.
Absolutely. Stepping on the gray room trap tile and checking the chest. A Pro Cape +2. Not too bad. Not too bad.
The Pro Cape, the universal shield that can be equipped by anyone.
Don't sleep on it. It's actually very useful. Oh, he's got another shard. Checking the lonely chests in Volcano.
Sadly, the Pro Cape, unlike the Pro Rings, does not provide instant death immunity.
Actually provides no immunity.
I should say resistance, because there's no such thing as immunity in this game.
Very true, there's always a chance. Meanwhile, Lifereboot searching through boxes. So far hasn't found anything great yet. And onto the Agama traps.
Gonna take the fight to see how thick it gets. The Agamas can roll pretty thick in this seed, or in this flag set.
He does have surprise on this one, though. So he gets a free turn. Doesn't quad X, interesting. Well, they are not beefy.
Quad X is a one-shot kill with those Agamas, and the chime.
Do we hear a Sky play in the future? I sure hope so.
Who needs the cube? Just go for the chest. Then you'll find the cube. And the
The
adamant.
adamant. So, this point, Kumo looks like he's heading towards the last chest, and then it's going to be, does he go for carry? Yeah, Quad X that Agama, not a problem.
Already level 10, already has some pretty powerful spells. He might just pick up carry because,
But he
I
doesn't
mean,
have.
yeah,
Does he have the weapons though?
not so
His
much the
fighters.
weapons.
Yeah, his fighter's still swinging that. Fighter's still swinging that iron staff, which probably is not going to do him good. And Lifereboot ignoring the Hurry Dwarf, but gets a free Roo Stick.
Some stacks of evasion, not going to go amiss.
Totally fades in the Hurry Dwarf.
That red dragon did not roll up either, and that's a bit more
No.
experienced even than the Agama. You usually don't go for them though, and that is an ice shield
That's a
plus 5.
nice-
Good to see, especially going into a carry fight.
So then now the question: do you take it? Because you can't. You can walk out. Agama has poison touch.
Not so nice for the grind, but I don't think he's going to take any sort of grind. I think he's going to go ahead and heal up, pure up, and take the carry fight. If this was an early skydive or sea dive, running out makes sense. But oh no, he's going to run it out.
He's turning tail. I don't hate this. His weapons just are not. They're not really good, and he used a lot of Ice 2 charges, taking out a lot of those Agamas.
This is very true. Meanwhile, Lifereboot is on the way up to Matoya to check for the turn-in and
He's
gets the
got
tail.
the tail, but he doesn't have the ship.
If we get a floater or if we get the ship and canoe, that is immediate promotion run.
Absolutely. There is no reason. Promoting before level 15 is always a good idea. Then you start getting spell charges as fast as possible.
And knowing that some of these level 1, 2, 3, and 4 magics are gonna be good for the black belt or for the knight and the ninja to swing or to wield.
Now bear in mind, Kumo has not gone to Elfland. He has not seen Exit. He has not seen Nuke.
I cannot imagine he's going to go to ice at this point. I think he would just go towards Elfland because he now has that TNT and the herb to get those turn-ins. And if he goes marsh, he will get the adamant and he'll be able to do everything except the dwarf armory in one shot.
Now, if you're Lifereboot, you're heading back in the direction of Volcano and Ice. What do you go to? Do you take the chance on Ice? You have Exit, so you don't have to make a single run. The eye tile is there for the grind if you want it. Or do you dive Volcano?
With exit in hand, with this proximity, I'd say go ice, because you also have fire magic as available, and the Thor hammer.
There's those heat Caribs again. They will be a pest this entire seed.
Especially with the very dense early encounter table. Yeah, you can burn it off pretty quick if you have enough save
And they
items
have
and reboots.
And they have Scorch. They're firefish. No, it looks like he is taking the Volcano route. Now, he's got Nuke, he's got Quad X, he's got good magic. I think he will go all the way down. I think he'll take carry.
He also has better armor.
He does.
When Kumo went in there, he basically had nothing but nothing. So
Now, the question is, does he check the hairpin? Yes, he also has a black shirt, which will be very, very helpful in the fight against carry.
I can imagine he will check the hairpin because he has exit. One of the tricks that I've seen used, I use myself when I can, is take the right side hairpin, then go back to the left side, and then just exit out so you can save with whatever items you get.
Always a good play.
Kumo stocking at Crescent to restock his supplies and burn off some encounters before heading in one direction, whether it's up or to the west, we have no idea.
Lifereboot, meanwhile, coming up to the decision. Yep, he's going for the hairpin. He will get his loot. And be very happy to see it, too. Kumo, meanwhile, yep, he is going to head over to Elfland. He'll get his good magic. He will turn in his herb and see what pops out of the Sleeping Prince.
Getting the herb and the slab out of Volcano, Life Reboot will find them, but he will have to double back on his routing this way.
He will. He will. He could also just go straight for ice if he wants to make the bold play.
This is very true. He could go ice side and head up and around to the dwarf recheck. Who knows? We could have vanilla floater and ice.
That was my thought. What if floater is in ice? Then the tables have turned very quickly. But Kumo does have a lot of money from a lot of the fights he's taken, so he can pretty much buy whatever he wants.
Fast is cheap. It's
Fast
under
is-
1,000.
That is good value. And don't sleep on Zap. Several seeds have shown that Zap is a great early game spell that can do a lot of work for you.
Anyone who saw the race yesterday on FFR would remember Zap was basically the MVP sweeper at the start of the seed.
That it was. I have still not seen an item shop item or a duplicate item shop item. If you see a duplicate, that means that there is no item shop item in the seed, so you can save your money. Meanwhile, Lifereboot collecting his money, getting his shards.
Noticing Kumo, seeing the armor just fades. Ooh, wow.
Ooh,
a buyable
that's a
Cat's Claw +4 with that
+4.
Knight having the Cat's Claw bonus. Big stick acquired.
Did Lifereboot not check that? I don't think he checked for weapons.
Nope.
That could be a factor. Until you find. Never mind. There's the X-Cal.
Hey, don't forget that Cat Claw rolled up, even without the Cat's Claw bonus, is an endgame viable weapon for the Thief or the Red Mage once promoted.
And with our Red Mage having. Can the Red Mage take the Cat Claw? Oh, the Black Mage can take the Cat Claw.
I believe the Red Wizard could, but I might be wrong.
Either way, you gotta remember though, the X-Cal's bonus does not apply to Chaos. So that Cat Claw +4 would be a good late game weapon to take on Chaos. You can use the X-Cal for all the fiends, but Chaos is not weak to the X-Cal. Meanwhile, Kumo going to Astos. Saying goodbye to Astos.
Using the same using the same strat Lifereboot did, just nuke him to death.
With the added bonus of a Cat Claw.
It would have been somewhat value benefit, or like fair if Quad X was used, because that's kind of usually what he uses on you in the vanilla game, so.
Chat pointing out that improved Cat Claw has the same crit as a Vorpal and Katana, which means it is very viable in the late game. Especially with the Power Bonk, which we already have. Meanwhile, Lifereboot's going to find his slab. Going to find a guy named Herb.
May or may not be a Volkswagen bug he can put in his pocket.
That's his TNT. Probably kicking himself because he's already turned in the Adamant, but... No.
Finds a loose Agama, tries to do the XL cast and run, gets the run instead of the Quad X.
Found his herb, so he's got all that. Meanwhile, Kumo found his flame armor.
And his black shirt, of course.
Yes, and the bottle. And Lifereboot's finding some shards of Pro Cape and some more real estate.
We are seeing the retreading of routes now. They've just swapped dungeons.
We have indeed. There's more shards. I haven't got a shard count off any runner yet.
Kumo, I believe, is just finishing his... he's one off the top row.
Yeah. So he's got 7 then, because each row is 6. And same with Lifereboot. They're both exactly the same. This is as close as you can get. They're both retreading on each other's footsteps. I would give the slight edge to Kumo at this point, as he has more turn-ins to do. And can do them all at once.
Just the value of the routing when it comes. And looks like Lifereboot isn't even going to bother to fight them. He's just going to run Quad X in case he gets the kill. At this point, he's probably just banking on the idea of get the kill and then move on and try not to, because he has... didn't he get the tail already?
He does have the tail.
And hey, he's actually going to take this one. Doesn't have any quad casts or quad X casts on the red mage. Does on the black mage. Finds its quad Xable.
Level 10. You can take carry on at level 10 with this kind of magic.
Yeah, having that nuke that Kumo did not have at this time when he was diving.
Oh, but it has toxic. That we
He
did
is
not
not taking
see.
that fight now.
And poison. Oh, and he is kicked out of Volcano.
I can hear him screaming your name. That is our first wipe, and Kumo did not see it. He was able to get that quick kill on that black dragon or that red dragon.
Kumo just skirting it very quickly. But the good news about this is you now know which chests are trash. You don't have to bother with them. You can just run, grab the shards, grab any items that you need, and get out as quick as possible.
It may be a bit of a long run, but with all these flame tires being non-encounterable, you can get down pretty deep, even if you don't have a hero run pretty fast. And there's the chime for Kumo. One more chest to check, and then he can exit out and make his way to dwarves for the double turn-in.
Yes, he will. Maybe he'll say hello to the Hooray Dwarf on the way through.
Maybe he'll liberate the Hooray Dwarf.
I
will always contend that the Hooray Dwarf is in the combination of a Hodor moment and a Kenny moment from South Park, where no matter what you do, he will always come back until you break the time loop that this game is based around.
Chat making a good point. Kumo not using exit does not appear to have it.
Or doesn't have any charges for it, but I doubt that's the case. If he does take the run out, then it's time spent, but...
Lifereboot going back to that
the
dragon
red D,
again.
the loose red D, or the incentive red D, and that's another wipe. If Kumo wasn't ahead already, he has definitely got the lead. Even running it out from Marsh instead of exiting out, this is saving him a lot of time compared to Lifereboot.
That is unfortunate for Liferebooted. Got bad turn order on it all the way around.
I have to point out, Lifereboot has been running with that Thief in slot 2 this entire time. One of the advantages of having the Thief in slot 1 instead of slot 2 is you get to take advantage of its luck stat, which dictates whether or not you have priority or at least don't get ambushed. So you can get the first strike in or have a good chance of getting the first strike in.
Should also be noted that with this flag set, our Thief's agility has been boosted. So it actually is more likely that enemies will miss your Thief.
Okay, this is interesting. Kumo went to the east. He did not go north. He is going to Ice Cave or a random redive into Volcano to kill Carry, but I'm assuming Ice Cave. Yep, that looks like it is.
That is definitely Ice Cave. That is... He might be banking on finding the ship or the floater, because right now we are locked still in the Inner Sea.
The only things that could be here, something for progression has to be here, because it's either going to be the key to get access to any of the lock chest, or it's going to be the floater, canal, and ship.
And Lifereboot makes it past his dragon and finds the Ice +5, which I'm sure is not what he was looking for.
And the fact that you gotta note the fact that he had skipped more chests coming out.
And he bounced. Yeah. He is not going to take on Carry, decides that this is not worth my time, and I do not blame him at all.
Sleep Hydras. How fun. The waterways are so nice to our runners. But Lifereboot, he skipped those chests not on the redive, so he's back down to one shy of a row of shards. That's 7 shards in hand, as he is going to go to ice now.
Our runners seem to be converging. But did we see anyone turn in the TNT yet?
We have not seen either of the runners go back to doors with the TNT. In fact, Kumo hasn't even been back there to pick up the Thor hammer and katana that he reset out of earlier. Lifereboot does still have the loot. That is something he saved before trying to redive or Volcano.
Very important.
Seeing Fire 2 get used to burn away the undead, or at least some of them. Not a full FFR special, because more than one character died before or stayed alive before the running, but hey, cast it, they survive and run anyways.
Kumo find a couple mages, and here comes Lifereboot hot on his tail.
That Cat's Claw might not be doing a whole lot of damage just yet with that lower levels, but it's still a good swing. And there's another Pro Cape. That's a second shield that can be equipped by the mage or the magic casters. And of course, our runners do not have access to warp, just exit if they've got it, so they cannot use the warp trick to check boxes without having to go through the loop.
Does mean you get to pick up the eye tile, though. Ooh, and the Frosties are unrunnable. I hope they are nowhere near as bad as their Red Dragon brothers.
Or the Frosties from the first siege you rolled earlier this week. They had instant death magic.
They did. No, Kumo easily brushes them aside, gets level 13. That one but the black belt. The black mage, sorry. And finds nothing really of value.
That opal gauntlet can be nice in the pinch, but usually the power bonk is going to be on your warrior, unless the ninja or another character proves to be a much more valuable buffable entity.
That is very true. Well, we have seen the katana at a +2, and the X-Cal has rolled base. We have not seen a Vorpal, and we may not see a Maza. Meanwhile, Kumo checking the bottom chest. I don't see an X on that box. Ooh, but Dragon Armor +5. That is a find. You love to see that.
If you were going to ignore the evasion bonus of the wood armor, and hey, the canal, half the ticket to the outer sea.
And of course, now the seed's going to troll and pop you a floater.
Nah, it's going to give you the key, and then the floater's going to be in marsh locked.
Well, there's the rod. It's always good to find. More real estate. Meanwhile, over on Lifereboot's side, he's taking out his dragons. Heal pot. Ice armor. Ah, there's the key. You had it.
It had to be a key, or it had to be access to the rest of the outer sea, and now they're gonna do more checks.
Let's see what the eye has ruled today. Death. Just death. It doesn't have anything. And all that for an opal +3. Not a bad shield. If you can't find the Aegis, the opal, great secondary choice.
Yep, allows them to move that fire or the ice shield that they already got onto the thief post promotion. Still have an excellent piece of defense for the warrior.
Meanwhile, Lifereboot finding that Frosties in random encounters are also unrunnable.
Using the Desperation Harm Ice 2 cast against an Ice Dragon. Not necessarily effective, but at least the Quad X did the job, and Kumo is out of ice and ready to go check a bunch of lock chests, which are en route, because he hasn't been back to dwarfs. He's got 2 turn-ins in dwarfs plus all the lock chests with Canaria and Northwest and Toph available en route.
I don't think the routings could have been any more kind to him. Meanwhile, Lifereboot finding a bunch of great red bones and heading up to... I believe this is his first dive through. Yes, it is. He's checking boxes. He has his rod. And past Provoca we go, and off to check the corner. The area locked.
I do believe Kumo has not been to the Crystal Turn-In. So he's on his way there now.
Ah, correct. He has not done that yet as well. So he will be picking up his... I think that was the X-Cal? No, that's the tail. There's his promotion.
Happy to see that, because he knows the next thing he's going to find, whether it's in the next place he checks, is going to be a way to get promoted.
So your options are, it's either in Corneria, Toph locked, Dwarves, Northwest Castle, Elfland, or the last place you want to look, Marsh locked.
I'm going Marsh locked incentive chest, all the way in the bottom right corner.
I say it's going to probably end up in Dwarves, but a nice pro ring is a good pickup, nevertheless, and a large chunk of money. Corneria has had a great treasury. They had a great treasury.
Hey, you saved the princess. You got the key that they lost for some reason. You might as well take advantage of it.
Strange they lost it in a cave made of ice, but you know what? Hey, I'm not going to argue what they were doing with it. Kumo heading looks to Toflocked. Lifereboot, meanwhile, has made it out of Ice Cave and is heading... I was thinking about Crescent Lake, but has decided, no, heading back the way I came. I'm going to go to Elfland.
Yeah, he's got the key so he can check in there in Elfland, but he's also in good proximity to check Marshlock, Northwest Castle, everything. It's a giant circle, and both of them are going whichever way they care.
That is true. Lifereboot making quick work of everything now that he's nuclear charged. And a single ass decides he wants to challenge. This is not going to end well. And it didn't. Meanwhile, a -1 wear sword, that's nothing to write home about.
Lifereboot cursing the very dense encounter table when he's in such close proximity he doesn't want to burn a save.
What is he looking for? Housing?
Looks like he's just going to stock off on potions and housing.
Never a bad idea to have more houses on you. Meanwhile, Kumo about to check the top right chests in Toph to see what's there. Copper is not worth it. Opal, you already have the dragon armor. You don't need it.
Yeah, and that weird sword minus isn't anything special either.
The wear enemy type is not very common in Final Fantasy 1 in general.
As Kumo's about to hit the dwarfs and get the TNT turn in, Lifereboot gonna check our Elfland helm +2 for heal and the ship.
Wow. That is the beauty of the randomizer. Everything can turn on a dime.
Roostick picked up from the adamant turn in for Kumo, followed by the Opal +5.
And now Lifereboot has his X-Cal as well.
The X-Cal and a way to go get promoted. He could just fade the other checks with the locked and just go get promoted now. He might just do that.
Or he might be using the river system to make a quick dock.
This is true, because this is technically closer to both Northwest Castle, Marsh, and... Oh, he forgot he had already fought.
Astos is already gone, my friend. He is not coming back. So... Kumo about to check what's in Dwarf Armory. He's found some shards. He's found some cash. Lifereboot found a cabin and a shard. Ah, but there's Oxyale. Here's your access to sea. And we do have Northern Docks turned on, so both of our runners will soon be able to access both sea and sky. And if you're given the decision, what would you do, Thavian? Would you go and check the chest in Mirage? Will you dive sea and grab everything?
Post-promotion, in proximity, I would go sea for sure.
You also have the option of hitting up Waterfall if you so desire. Meanwhile,
or you could go Earth, because you've got the rod already.
This is true. Meanwhile, neither of our runners has said hi to the furry dwarf. That makes me very sad. We will never know if they will spare him.
As long as they carbonate bubbles, I know you always advocate it, as you are a member of the Bubble Soda.
The Bubble Soda Company is always here to carbonate your finest mermaids for the best soda.
Ooh, this is a thing. Kumo has decided he does want to check Marshlock, so he's going to run all the way down there. If it pays out with, like, the floater, he will be in a great situation. Otherwise, this might just help Lifereboot catch up for those wipes.
And Lifereboot, meanwhile, is looking to translate his slab. We saw White Magic, Fade, and Wall, none of which are currently Red Mage learnable. Exiting out, going back in. Interesting, he did not check Black Magic. I suppose he doesn't really need anything at this point. He has Fast, he has Nuke, he has a Bonk.
He also has a goal of promoting.
He does. He's heading straight. Looks like he's heading straight to see Bahamut. And unrunnable werewolves down in ice. Or down in marsh. Sorry, you do not want to see that.
Quick, whip out the wear stick. Oh, nuke him. That'll work too.
That'll work well. At this point, they're time wasters. That's all they are. They're not a threat to you. You're level 14 across the board. They're not a threat. Lifereboot, meanwhile, is going to become much more dangerous. With an X-Cal, a katana. He now can equip the black shirt, the power bonk, the dragon armor. The dragon armor.
All the armor shuffling and
There
equipment
we go.
shuffling on both sides, but this is
Now,
just something Kumo is going to have to deal with eventually too.
absolutely. There he goes. He needs where he needs it. That's, to be fair, that's a very good setup for mid-game.
And the final chest check by Kumo is 9 gold. At least he has exit if he uses it, but he's going to run out again.
He may, chat has pointed out he may have memory hold that. He might have forgotten that he has it.
You know, that's totally doable. And Lifereboot is heading back north. I think he's going to take the No, he's going back towards Earth.
Never ordeals. Never ordeals.
Well, you don't have warp.
I was an advocate of ordeals for a very long time. In these seeds, I have only seen a handful of times where it's been useful. No, he's going for magic. He's going for nuke on his thief. Or his ninja now.
That would make sense. Also, able to get Saber.
Nope, just taking the nuke. Checking to see if he's got anything on his white magic. Doesn't see anything useful. I'm going to heal up and head on his merry way.
Honestly, a bit shocked that he did not buy that Saber, because then he could have both the Power Bonk on the Knight and Saber for the Ninja.
It was an interesting choice. Now, is he going to Earth? It appears... He could also go see Sarda and Titan, because he has the Ruby. Sarda may hold something like a Vorpal. Or he could hold Progression. Oh, coming back. Can't get Wall, but he can get Fate if he wants it.
It's another charge of nuke-adjacent power.
But
can't get the life.
And let us note that Life 2 is not usable in battle. Life 1 is, but it will not help him.
And there we have found something that the White Wizard or White Mage would have been useful for that they cannot take advantage of.
They did just pick up Temper for both of the Red Wizard and the Black Wizard, which is a great thing to have. I'm going to talk to the Titan and feed him just a regular old Ruby. Sometimes it's fun to feed him egg salad, sometimes crayons, sometimes paste, sometimes asphalt. Wizard Stick, not bad if you want to go fight Carrie again.
Confusify the lady.
And saving just to make sure in case Sarda offers him a lovely heal pot.
Well, of all the things, Kumo has checked Marsh Locked, and he did last check the ship, so he didn't have to loop around that much more.
One thing chat is pointing out, there was a ribbon in Marsh Locked that Kumo has picked up, which is not horrible, but the time lost to find it may cause problems. And a rune +1 is not worth your time, so we're out of there.
I would think at this point, Kumo was probably a little ahead already before Lifereboot wiped twice in Volcano, so I could give Kumo a slight lead or on par, because again, he's walked out of Marsh twice and did walk all the way out of Volcano.
It's going to, for me, it depends on what Lifereboot does. If he goes to Earth, there's a lot of chests in Earth, and he's relatively strong, and he has good weapons and good armor. He could just run amok through Earth. And it looks like that is where he's headed. I would give the advantage at this point very slightly to Lifereboot. He'll be one dungeon ahead.
This is very true.
A very wise strat here. A lot of runners doing this now. Save, check the chest, reset out. Go down,
save your cap.
Yep. Oh, but unrunnables? Nope, get out of there. It's way too early for that.
Now, probably the differentiating feature is, does Kumo proximity go for C? And it looks like he's at least going to go to Onrak to check the store.
He could also check the Oasis to see if there's anything there as well.
And, of course, Waterfall. Having the canoe already, he can go to Waterfall, check what the robot has in his chest or on his person.
There is nothing at the item store. He can... No, is he heading? No, he's gonna house up. Will he check magic? Nope.
Gonna get those proper good gear swords equipped. Move that cat claw probably to the red mage if you think... Oh, Ice 2 sword. That is also very appropriate.
Yep, you cannot complain about that at all. Put the axe cowl on.
He's going with the Cat's Claw. He wants the crit chance. He doesn't want the vanilla XLs or X.
X-Cal. Yeah, he doesn't want but the X-Cal does have the advantage that it will do extra damage to anything except Chaos.
That elemental plus, what was it, 50 or 60? It's kind of
Ooh.
crazy.
Sea snakes are Blizzard. That's not fun. You see those a lot.
Yeah, not just in their own pack, but they're part of the Seafood Party Pack, which is even more horrible to see.
No one wants the Long John Silver's number 5. Meanwhile, Lifereboot gonna check the first of Earth 2 chests. See if he can find anything worth his time. Cash. Ah, he's got the cube. That's a big thing there already.
That is
gives him-
everything.
that is access to full sky. That is big. And meanwhile, back down in Kumo's side, more Blizzard snacks.
This seed at this point could be full-on floaterless.
It is a possibility. This is more shards. Gold +2 is not bad to find, and a flame +6. Earth is providing some very, very good items this time.
Flame armor and an ice shield, or flame armor, flame shield. Interesting, he's not putting that opal +3 on there. He's going to go with that flame and ice shield combo.
I believe he has the opal on his red mage at this time.
The opal shield is currently in the inventory of his ninja.
Oh,
but not equipped.
He can't take that. Only the knights can take that. But yes, he should put it on the knight. He definitely. I don't know, because it's only a protection against lightning, and Lich probably doesn't have lightning. Nice 9 gold chest, always my favorite. And chat pointing out it's a bit of a dance with death with those lizard snakes. Lifereboot meanwhile is fading the extra chest in Earth that's far to the east.
Could that be the floater? And even if it is, the only thing that getting the floater does at this point, other than make it faster to navigate, is unlock the check for the bottle and for the slab turn-in with the Lefanians. That is going to be the Vorpal and the incentive ribbon at this point.
Correct. And I would like to point out that the Earths have stone touch. That is not going to be fun when you have to find them in the Earth floor in Topher.
At least it's thematically appropriate.
Yes. That is good. Meanwhile, we're on to checking Lich's closet. What do we have in here? Other than that annoying bat. Another shard. Oh, do you see the chest? Does he open it? Probably not.
I cannot imagine. He's sub 400 on even his most tough creature character. He's healing up.
He's thinking about it. He is considering it. He has fast. He has Invis 2. He has Temper. He has a bonk. I think he's going for it.
He doesn't have all of his weapon slots filled. He can't do the free check. He has to take it if he takes it, and
Here we go. He's going for it. This is intense. He's going to ruse up. Going to nuke. He's going to fast the ninja. Okay. Nuke rolls very low. 135. Fast is out. Ruse is out. Warmack smacks that ninja to the ground. Ruse. Yep. Nuke. And nuke. And the good news about this is if he makes it out of here, the experience is going to be very large. And oh no! Oh no, that's not good. He got rubbed out. Nuke strats it is. There goes the black mage.
Methinks Warmack is just
roll the
on
dice.
punch.
There you go. I don't think he's got him. No, he's not low enough for Quad X. You cure 3 yourself to keep yourself alive. Oh, and he has nuke.
It hurts. That's
Chat
the
putting out
third
Quad
wipe.
X. Can't hit Warmack, and you are correct. That is the 3rd wipe.
We appreciate his efforts on not seeing the robot when you have a chance to see the robot, but
to be fair, that was a worthwhile risk. If he came out with a Maza, whether it rolled low or whether it rolled high, it's still a great weapon that you can put on your red mage, and now you have 3 great melee swings.
Yeah, especially since even with the lower shard count he has, that's still 20 plus thousand experience per party member.
Yeah, it would make a huge advantage. Now the question is, do you try it again?
I would say no at this point.
He got very unlucky with turn order when it came to the ninja.
Even then, seeing the fight, the rate
The
at which
nuke.
it was able to one-touch enemies, and knowing there's a nuke back
There's a
there,
nuke, yeah. Now, the good news is that means that is one less nuke you need to worry about when you're fighting the Fiends and Chaos, because they all share the same pool of abilities.
Kumo doing his own armor shuffling, seeing things like the dragon armor wasn't equipped and whatnot. Gonna go ahead and run back out now that he's done the mermaid side. Whether he does the full dive, I'm assuming he will do the full dive to Kraken's side at this point. There's no point in leaving and coming back.
No. The wise thing to do would be to take what you have, save up, head back in, and go get Kraken. Now, I don't recall us buying Brack.
And we have not seen a Brack stick, so...
No, you will. The best you're going to get there is a Bane Sword, which can work. It's not likely, but it might happen. Stranger things. Meanwhile, the Earth Elementals are still turning all of Lifereboot's characters to stone.
Lifereboot has definitely been getting the more of the cane and less of the carrot.
And he's hitting a lot of unrunnables. He's got unrunnable gargoyles. He's got unrunnable Gur ogres. The unrunnable, I believe it's the asps, I believe. Well, Kumo checking a few more chests on his way down, finds another shard. His shard count should be getting close to halfway, if not higher.
He quite seriously could not need the cube and fade sky and earth altogether, depending on how the shards come out of these boxes.
Lifereboot, meanwhile, making his way back down. Grabbing more shards. Another shard there. Try to get a catch of Kumo's status screen when he pauses next, which probably will happen after this. These runners are very quick on menuing. It takes a really keen eye to pick up exactly how many they're at. Lifereboot, meanwhile, has shifted his ninja to the top of the party.
He has used strategery and thought.
He has indeed. Does this mean he's going to take on Wormek again?
Absolutely not, because he had the thief up front when he took that fight too, but still. Zeus Bonk, that's kind of nice, if he got it. I can't tell with his palette swap whether he took that or not.
He did not. He left that behind.
He's already got the black shirt, he's got the Thor hammer, and he's got good swords to swing, so why would he bother?
He's also got good levels. I think he's rocking 18. That's pretty good.
Now the hope is Kumo's able to find the floater here. Yeah, Lifereboot's got the cube coming out of Earth if he makes it out of Earth this time. But that would give Kumo way more options to move on.
And he walks away from Wormek. Probably the best idea at this point. That nuke is not playing around.
You have to be above the 20s usually to be actually nuke safe, and at the moment he's not that high up.
Correct. So he will check Lich's bedroom, see what's in there, and probably go kill Lich. Our favorite resident speed bump.
Meanwhile, Kumo finishing off the Gershark pack in the 4-pack room, the last chest to check before going after Kraken.
I did not see anything out of there that was going to help him.
I do think that last one was a shard, but hey, he's got 4 more shards coming if he can survive the fight with Kraken.
He's got levels, he's got equipment, he's got really good armor. I give him a real good chance unless Kraken does something off the wall. Ink would be the biggest fear for me. If he can dark your character, you have 2 casts of Lamp, yes, and you do have Cure 4, but that's a really hard waste of a Cure 4, and that's a turn that you now have no damage. And bye-bye, Lich. He's gone.
Weird, this big buff guy with the sword that's crits on anything it swings at did its job.
Isn't that something? So here we go, pulling the Kraken. The Roostic's coming out, Fast coming out, and Nuke.
He's looking for Temper, but goes with Nuke because he didn't get Temper on the Black Mage for some reason. Must have been low on money when he went to buy spells.
Nuke comes out. That's a low. And there's your ink. Didn't hit though. That's the good news.
It is thematically thematically accurate for this creature.
It actually is. It's the second time I've seen Kraken with ink. Temper goes out. Kraken says goodbye to the. But was that Dark Touch as well? I saw something flash up.
Getting the swings.
Lifereboot heading back out onto the sea.
All the Roostic casts on that night have done its job. There was no contact with Kraken's swing. 420 out of that Cat's Claw.
Oh, but Dark has landed. But I don't think Kraken has a lot left in the tank. Quad X might take it out. Switching to fast strats on Thief. Fast goes off. The fighter will swing. Miss. Yep, there's your improved Dark flag. Cure 4 will get rid of it, though. And that's the end of Kraken. Meanwhile, Lifereboot has now arrived on the Onrak continent as well. And I gotta...
That shard count is updated when you hit the teleporter, or the child before the teleporter. You just saw he is just a bit shy of that final full line of shards.
And he is headed to Waterfall. And Lifereboot, meanwhile, is not going to Onrak. He is headed for Sky, Sky, Sky.
I approve of this routing because Sky, especially Mirage, with those 2 floors of full desk,
greater than less than room, you gotta love it in these flags. You have to love it.
Plus, the encounters you get in Mirage and Sky tend to be better value for experience.
It is a spot you can find a Wild Eye. Oh, and a ribbon. Wow, big pickup.
That's huge because he did not go to Marshlocked and get the loose ribbon that was down there. So Kumo and Lifereboot both have one of the loose ribbons in their hands.
Unrunnable Chimera, but that's good for levels. Goodbye, Chimera.
It's a good sign when you're at level 13 going on 14 and you already do almost 400 damage to a Chimera with that Knight. The X-Cal showing its value.
Meanwhile, you got a Twilight Party Pack, which is definitely worth the taking. This is great experience for Lifereboot. The number of shards he has also makes it that he's getting a nice bonus. And every orb you get actually gives you another 50% in this flag set.
These Paralisks, you've got an 8-pack and they're all casting slow.
The king of time wasters right there. Ooh, a nice short sword out of out of the last chest in Mirage 1. I'm sure that's going to be very helpful. Exiting out. And saving out, and Lifereboot diving back in for greater than less than.
Meanwhile, Kumo just taking that solo Gasty before making his way down to the robot, see what's in there. If he finds the floater, this will give him a good chance to catch back up and get to Sky or any other checks. Not taking the Mummy Wiz Mummy pack, it's good experience, but at this point, he's probably just got better options he can go to.
Our robot friend is just... Ooh, but a white shirt. That is big. They have no way to cast Invis 2 at this point. That is huge.
Especially if you don't find the defense... Yeah, there's the defense sword. The evasion pack has been completed.
That is a very big find for late game. But Lifereboot has found the floater in greater than less than.
You know, that's an appropriate place for the floater to be, given the fact that the Lefanian ancestors built the Sky Palace and the Mirage Tower to get to it. So you'd assume that their Sky Knight ship's core would be somewhere involving their society.
You would hope, but the randomizer sometimes puts it in the most bizarre of places. Like, you know, maybe Sarah's holding on to it. We had this for 2,000 years. Did you ever think to use it? Maybe? No? Okay, fair enough. I'll take it.
Now we have the question from Kumo. Where do you go? We know there's no shop item at this point because we've seen what Lifereboot's picked up for the cube and the floater. He looks like he's going to go check the shop item. Or not.
No. He will probably head to Sky as well.
This is actually not a horrible thing because he will be able to get that floater out of Mirage So he can just run back out and go to the sky, get some more equipment and turn-ins, and then he can go to to ice. Actually, no, he has not been through Earth, so he'll probably go Earth once he's finished.
Yes.
As much as
Meanwhile,
going to, he's already been to ice. Never mind.
yes, but he hasn't been to Earth. And that is where his cube is, so eventually he will need to go, oh, and there's our first look of steak, and it's unrunnable. So it is forced red meat. And it didn't last. Meanwhile, Lifereboot finding a wild eye, poking it, and leaving. Meanwhile, we have some money, pure, garbage armor. And there's the other ribbon for Kumo. I'm sure he's very happy to see that. I'm going to say, is he dropping the white shirt? That's a risky play. No, grab the ribbon. Meanwhile, Lifereboot checking out the spider floor. Finding metal slimes. With Lit 3. That's lovely. Not a good grind at all. Oh, there's the Aegis shield. He is gonna take that, I guarantee you. Drop that flame shield.
Well, he's got the ice shield. It may have rolled lower than the flame shield, but he's got the ice armor already, so that allows him to balance out the protections for his ninja, and the knight is now full stock there as well.
The Aegis shield is great to have. Protection against poison is a great thing to have, especially running through Topher.
The Black Mage may have been given it for free, but nothing else has that.
Very, very true. Meanwhile, more Twilight fans in Kumo's way, and now he's going to go find himself his floater, and he will probably get in the air first, as he doesn't have a cube. Oh, more of these slimes with Lightning 3. Lifereboot taking them, though. They did not. They didn't roll high. They definitely did not roll high.
That could go a long way to help Lifereboot catch up in levels to Kumo. Kumo's already over 20 on his party, and we see Lifereboot just hitting 17. Yet again, Kumo, either he does not have exit, or is just memory holding it.
Question in chat. Was another katana? Yes, it was in the 2 top chests in Dwarves.
Along with the Thor Hammer +1.
CC's Gambit not revealing too much this seed. Lifereboot's going to check the 6-pack on the far side.
At this point, we know the only thing that's value that he can find is shards.
This is correct. He's already found everything else. Kumo looking for an airship that's not there. He finds his ship. Away he goes. Now to go get his airship. Bane, there's your Bane sword. Another shard. So, Lifereboot will be 3 shards short when he kills Tia. So he could dive C. He could go right to C, not bother with his floater, and just start searching for shards. Or he could just go right down and kill Kraken.
The directly to Kraken probably makes the most sense. I would say if he wants to go get shards, though, he could proximity play Cardia Isles and see if there's something in there. Because there are a few good chest counts in Cardia Isle.
This is true. Cardia Plains and Cardia Swamp are full of great stuff to check. Kumo, meanwhile, is in the air at an hour 5 and let's say 40.
And Kumo is going towards Cardia Isles, so... Forest, swamp, and plains.
Question, did Lifereboot do Volcano? Yes, he did. He got booted out 3 times. He never killed Carrie, but he checked every chest.
He did fade several chests.
Correct, he did skip several shard chests, actually.
There's at least one more shard, and that is Kumo in go mode. He has got his last shard. Nope, he's 3 shards short. My apologies.
3 shards short. He needs to start checking chests again.
2 more islands to check.
If you Lifereboot, do you fight that right there? Do you take that war mecha? Maybe he does. Maybe this one doesn't have nuke.
No, I'm gonna say he fades it, but he could well find an unrunnable war mech on the Bridge of Destiny because at this point there are potentially 3 war mechs.
There are indeed.
Kumo not finding the shards he needs just goes and reboots out of that and then has the last higher chest count room here.
Finding. Oh! What happened with those Hydras in that ninja? He should not have died that quickly. That looks like that could be Death Touch.
Kumo is 2 shards shy. He
Ooh,
has the
rubbed.
ability to go to Earth. I think that's where he's going to go. It's straight up, and he can just check for shards. He doesn't even have to kill Lich.
This is getting interesting. Checking. Look, he's gonna go Titans first. Ink comes out. Oh, and it landed on a lot of the party. That is, you don't want to see that.
Did you just give Lifereboot a bit of a cursed seed variant? Because he's getting a lot more pain.
I take no responsibility for what is going on currently with the randomizer. Kumo, meanwhile, is going to Volcano.
He's
gonna
didn't
kill
kill
Carrie.
Carrie.
He's gonna kill Carrie. That is a great play. It takes less than 2 minutes to get to Volcano if you hit every single lava tile. If he gets a good run, he'll be doing very well. And we got to see a lamp cast. Look at that. You're not going to see that too often, but man, it is great to see. And goodbye, Nuke. You're gone. Bane Sword, Bane Strats.
And Bane Strats. Just going to try and make it as crit as possible for that Knight.
Another Bane. Nope, not effective. Blaze comes out. Tia's not playing around. Yeah, but not enough. And down she goes. If your Lifereboot, you could hit the Cardias, but we saw them already with Kumo, and there wasn't a lot there.
He'd still, I believe, be 1 shard shy if he just does Cardias.
That is correct, according to my math, and that's a bad thing to say on stream.
Talking food on stream, totally doable. Talking math, I mean...
That's a risk. So... let's see, so Kumo pulls up to our Fire Fiend, who will probably not last very long. Has Ice too, but the party shrugs that off, except for the poor Black Mage, who doesn't like that at all. I believe he is still swinging the Cat's Claw, too.
Yeah, he really just seems like he wants that crit chance rather than the damage amplification. But there you go. That's the 2 shards he needs to be in go mode. Meanwhile, Lifereboot just deciding to go get some more spells while he's here.
Cure 4 on that night. Very helpful. But the question now is, and Kumo, I believe, has the same thought. Yep.
Has Lifereboot not checked the chests in the castle?
It's quite possible he did not. He did not, because he faded that area as soon as he found the... he didn't check Topher either. Kumo, meanwhile, is picking up his level 2 magic for his ninja and his knight. That's probably a good idea.
I'd say at this point, Kumo Kumo has the levels to justify going to Topher. He can walking grind to get more, and, well, I mean, if he uses exit at any point, he could exit out, save out, and keep what grinds he's got. Meanwhile, Lifereboot getting more magic, and then, well, we'll see where he goes from here.
He's getting more magic. And that's... meanwhile, Kumo looks like he is going to start the first dive. Looks like we're going to be about 1 hour 10:55. He enters Topher, our first runner in. Now, what is going to pop up here?
Lifereboot heading up towards the Cardia Isles.
I don't hate the play. It's got some chests. You want to look. You don't really want to dive Volcano and kill Carrie. It's not enough. You still need 1 more.
Using the rod instead of the loot, that's the wrong plate, but he makes it through there. Didn't bonk, just tried to whack it with a stick.
Lifereboot, meanwhile, finding the bad news so far. He's got 1 shard. He needs 1 more.
Honestly, I think he will get one more because I
I
think
think
there were
he. I
two
think.
shards.
I believe there were two. I think it was over in Cardia Plains. Open +1. Couldn't care less. There's his last shard.
He reset out of it
He
on
re-
accident instead of
Yeah.
exiting. It's a
Yep.
short run. It's
It's
still
okay.
laughable.
No. Yeah. No harm, no foul. He got what he wanted out of it at least. He is also now in go mode, and you will see him head straight to Topher.
If he
Meanwhile,
has the potions, he will do it.
Kumo is on Earth floor. Now remember, those Earths have Stone Touch, and they come in packs of 4 here.
And Lich could roll vanilla. He could nuke the party. And only one character is nuke safe, and that's the Knight.
But if he does, that's the nukes out of the pool. Because we know Warmech has one of them.
Sadly, since
Meanwhile,
Warmech exists, that means there's multiple nuclears in the pool too.
true. 11237 Lifereboot has entered Topher. 3 nukes, 4 nuclears. Yeah, that's chat pointing out. Always fun to see. And Lich does Lich things, which is nothing.
Switching to the X-Cal finally, Kumo really realizing the elemental damage buff will be better than the crit stack. The crit stack for that Cat's Claw, though, in that fight with Chaos is going to be much more valuable.
Chat pointing out that you don't want to see any red dragons on this floor.
But what you do want to see is this pack, because those Agamas and that Red Giant make for a good chunk of experience for the walking grind. And since it's unrunnable, you're going to take it.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Lifereboot finding once again unrunnable Frosties. He's run into these a few times now. Sure, he's not happy to see them.
May not be happy to see them, but he's more happy than the other. It's cousins.
Very true. Now, the difference is Lifereboot does have the Aegis Shield, so if Toxic or some poison damage were to come out, he can resist. Meanwhile, Carry 2 being pulled by Kumo. We're gonna fast. We're gonna hit. Swing? Okay, not bad. Oh, but there's Nuclear coming right out the gate, but everyone survives.
That is only a guaranteed survival for this turn, though, because she could always come back with Swirl or some other high-powered spell. Cannot come back with a nuke or nuclear back-to-back. Never gets the chance. That is a thin carry.
That is a very good thing for Kumo. He's got Cure 4 all around. Quadex is not going to be useful in most of these fights, so you might as well burn your Cure 4 charges. Chat pointing out that that was some major disrespect. Kumo did not heal before pulling carry.
Didn't heal, went straight for swing, swing, swing fast. Didn't bother shuffling his party around. Hopefully he's going to be thinking of what to do now. Gets away from that seafood party pack, and nope, he is going full bore, power, speed, and power, speed.
Using Ruse, and fast. Good call. Let's see what Kraken has in store. Stun. No one cares. And so it comes out.
Seeing Kraken cantrip a stun spell is pretty much the best case scenario.
Absolutely. You love to see that. Ice 2, again, you're not really threatened by that. Might hurt your Black Mage, but the rest of your party's pretty well protected. You got Ribbon, you have a Dragon Armor, you're good. Swing with the X-Cal. 195, though. It's not... The Katana's doing work, though. Meanwhile, Lifereboot pulling carry. What will he see? Carry, 122. Fire 3. Really hurting his mages.
But fast getting out on the Knight making a huge difference.
Quadex that comes out, I don't think Carry has. Nope, Carry is gone. He does not see it. Squeaks through.
For once, Lifereboot gets the better of the two outcomes.
And he is closing the gap. Oh, Zap comes out and takes out the ninja.
The swinging crit stick is gone, but the nuke finishes him off back to back.
Alright, so only Tia and Chaos left.
To think that Lifereboot is barely a floor behind at this point just shows you how good both of these runners are.
This is incredibly close. All it takes is one bad wipe here, and the game is blown wide open.
I think Kumo's in desperation mode because he did not heal up again. His Black Mage came into this fight at 70 hit points.
And there's Inferno. That will take the Black Mage out for sure. Meanwhile, on Lifereboot's side, stun on his ninja already. Rusing up. Tempering. He's going to temper double on that X-Cal. Nuclear comes out. Oh, no. Oh, this is not looking good.
Heal 3 would be very nice to have, but none of our runners have it. Cure 4 going to
4.
cure up both of his melee and his caster.
And he gets them off in time. That is good. That is RNG turn order that you just pray for.
Also getting the advantage of those evasion stacks he put on that knight ahead of time.
Always a good idea.
Quad X4 effect by Lifereboot. That is cracking nice 2 down.
And we are neck and neck. This is as close as you can get. This has been a back and forth race the whole time. Blizzard from Tia coming out does nothing. We have protection. Tia's still standing though.
Tia might just be a bit evasive.
Lifereboot now pulling Tia. He's gonna fast. Roostic comes out. Fast comes out. Meanwhile, on the other side, Power Bonk. Swing with the katana. Tia is down on Kumo's side. He is got an open haul to chaos.
Desperation mode. He full on runs, doesn't resurrect, doesn't heal. Now he's going to get set up. No more encounters. Probably switch the cat claw back on for the X-Cal.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, Lifereboot definitely getting a better round, not losing his Black Mage, and Inferno could still kill it.
Yep. Here we go. Pulling chaos. 118-20. We're going to ruse. We're going to defense. We're going to use the fast on the ninja. Fast on the knight. There's 2 good turn order here. Roostic comes out. Defense comes out. Chaos decides rub. Not going to happen. Defense, ruse. We're back with the white shirt now and a nuke. Lifereboot, meanwhile, is through Tia. Crack comes out. Not going to do a lot of anything. White shirt comes out. Those defense stacks are getting close to full. That thief has probably got more evade than it needs. He's going to start fighting. Temper comes out. Nuke comes out. Cat Claw, first swing. 6 hits 280. Nuke comes out. 160. Temper. Meanwhile, Lifereboot pulling chaos as well. This is crazy. Oh, but Crack does take out his party.
Lifereboot in man mode against insta-death casting chaos without having the value of his buffs for fast. He has the power bonk, he has the ruse stick, but can that work for him?
Nuclear comes out. Oh, Cure 4, you need it right now. This is oh. Chaos, meanwhile, on Kumo's side, I don't think has done nuclear yet. It's coming around. Quad X, it does not work on Chaos. Nuke on Chaos. 187. Lifereboot, meanwhile. Power bonking. Stop. That will not work. Swing on the other side of Kumo for the ninja. And it is over! At 119.50, Kumo looks like he has taken down Chaos. Meanwhile, back on Lifereboot's side. Get your GGs out in chat for Kumo, by the way. But back to Lifereboot, as this is just back-to-back action. He is still using the XL, and he is terminated too.
Man mode victory for Lifereboot.
120.05, I believe that was the case. GG's to both of our winners. Wow, that was right down to the wire. And I believe we are joined in chat by Kumo. Kumo, great job. Great job.
Who rolled this?
That was me.
I don't like the fact that we had to go around the inner sea several times to get what we needed to get out of the inner sea.
I was going to ask you about that. How did you enjoy the 10K around the inner sea? It was Now I will say I know you didn't see this, but you and Lifereboot were so close at so many points. Like, wow, this was right down to the wire. And I believe we are now joined in chat by Lifereboot. GG's to you.
GG Life.
Oh, GG Kumo.
That was one heck of a race right there. My heart was pounding the whole time in Topher.
That was a slobber knocker if I have ever seen one. So I'll go to Lifereboot first. Lifereboot, that crack from Chaos. Were you panicking at that point?
I was not. The seed was throwing me everything at every point. let's see, we dove Earth 3 times? No, Volcano 3 times, and Earth twice because I got greedy with that chest. Really wanted that Masamune, oh well.
We really appreciate you trying for the Mazda. That was really great. We enjoyed that. I will let Kumo know that red D that you had found and just kind of waltzed by. Oh, it was loaded.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's that. I believe Lifereboot that kicked you out 3 times of Volcano. It had, I believe it had Brack or Stone Touch and is it Toxic? Cannot remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
Toxic into Stone Touch got me twice.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Lifereboot, how did you enjoy our marathon around the Inner Sea?
I liked it just fine. It's one of those things. I know that the race is over when I'm diving the dungeons that many times. I'm glad it ended up being that as close as it was in the end. Really impressive run by Kumo. I'm gonna watch it back tonight, I'm sure, and should be an interesting rewatch. I hope it was a great race to watch tonight.
Yeah, there was plenty of route divergence even at the very start, which made for a much more entertaining run than everyone handshaking all the way.
That early canoe.
Oh my god, that early canoe. I hate early canoe. I'd rather find canoe later in the seed than it early, because then it just opens a whole can of worms.
Did you like the hot fishes?
No.
Typical
With that,
river system.
With that encounter table, as soon as I started running into multiple, I was like, yep, I'm saving, and then I'm just gonna reset out of every damn one of these, because that's a pain.
Now, I will say, Lifereboot, you went to Sky. Cube was in Earth. Kumo completely ignored both Earth and Sky. Earth and Sky. You both actually have different orbs. Kumo taking out Kraken and taking out Carrie, and Lifereboot, you took out Earth and Air. And I will say, my co-commentator Thavia mentioned this. I may have cursed you both with a lot of dark. Apparently, a lot of fiends really thought that blinding your party was a great idea.
True.
I had Cure 4.
You actually had a lamp too. It was one of your clean magic abilities.
Oh, yeah, I normally just shrug off clean magic abilities. I forget about it, memory hole it. Oops.
Speaking about that, did you buy Exit and then completely forget you had Exit?
Yes, I did.
We were watching it, and it was a little bit painful to watch. It's like, did he forget Exit? No, he has it. Oh no!
I had Heal 3 as well, but I forgot I had that as well.
We did mention Heal 3. We were wondering if anyone had actually picked it up.
Yep. It was level 3 magic, I think? Yeah,
yep, level 3, slot 1.
Indeed.
Ironically, along with Exit.
Now
So you just kind of forgot level 3 magic except for Nuke.
Except for Newt. GG Life, this is a good race.
GG Kumo, I agree.
I will admit that this was one of the most entertaining races I have seen. Your times were so close. Lifereboot one-manning it. Kumo showing absolute disrespect to both Carrie and Tia too. The level of disrespect there, sir. My hat is tipped to you for that. Not healing the Black Mage, going in with a 64 HP Black Mage, sir.
I figured if he was gonna go down, I'll just life to him.
So, something to look forward to.
Time.
You better be good at saving time, because you're on to face Lord Fizzlebeef, the king of speed and power. Are you happy you won?
I didn't expect to get this far.
Well, congratulations, you have. With probably one of the most, so far out of this whole tournament, of anything I've watched and checked in on, this has been by far the most entertaining one so far. My hat's off to both of you for excellent runs. in a seed that was probably not meant for, as they say, speed and power.
It was a very grueling run, or this seed was very grueling from the start, from the get-go. So it was interesting to see what all came out of it. I'm definitely gonna watch this back before I have to go to work.
Meanwhile, Lifereboot, you are going to go on to the lower bracket to face the loser between Odoron and ADR. Plenty of options there that you may or may not want to face.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know that I'm familiar with Odoron, but ADR has been a champion in the past, so we'll see. Good luck to both of them.
Might as well move on to final thoughts here. We also have another race going on at on Speed Gaming 3. We'll try and pass y'all off on that once we get out of here. Kumo, final thoughts.
I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out of their day to bring this presentation to everybody to the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. It's been a great run. These flag sets are not for the faint of heart. I have forfeited many of times. Thank you for RPG Limited Break for letting us use your channel, and thank you, Lifereboot, for the race. It was fun.
You're welcome.
And Lifereboot, your final thoughts.
I have to put a little mental note in here. The takeaway here is, just because you have 5 charges of nuke does not mean that you can defeat Warmech at like level 14, level... Anyway, take your time. Don't get greedy. I hope that everyone's enjoying the tournament. These are really fun flags. It can be super swingy. I think anyone can win. That's what's going to make this tournament super interesting. If you like what you see, visit FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Connect to the Discord. Great community. Great developers. Really great staff. Thank you everyone for putting on the restream tonight. And cheers. Good luck, Kumo.
Thank you.
Oslaughter, want to call us out?
Well, I would love to, Thavian. Thank you for watching. Thank both of our runners, Kumo and Lifereboot. Again, excellent race. I would love to tell you guys that if you like what you see here and you want to see more of the Winter Tournament, at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, right here on RPG Limit Break, we're going to have Demon Frog versus Papa Dukes. I guarantee you that will be a fantastic race to watch. It will be very entertaining. And then if you want to stay up for the late race at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, F. Coughlin takes on Elkler over on the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel. And as Lifereboot said, if you like what you see, if you want to get involved, head over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Join the Discord. After our Winter Tournament is over, we will be starting up our Duckling Boot Camp for all the new players. And after that, we will be doing our Duckling Derby. As a recent graduate from the Duckling Boot Camp and the Duckling Derby, it will give you all the tools you need to start running this game just like these guys will. They're great people there. They're always willing to help, and we hope to see you pick up the controller and give it a shot. And with that, I believe that will be the end of our broadcast. I think we're going to head over and raid the other current ongoing game, which would be Clementitas versus Budge Mono over at Speed Gaming 3. Hope to see you all over there. For myself, for our great tracker, Red Mage, for Jay Scheidel, our restreamer, and my fellow co-com Thavian Hawk, I bid you all a good evening, good morning, and good night.